Now, is the volume working now? That's what I need. Yeah. Somebody let me know if you can hear me. Oh, thank you, Peg Finn. Yes, good. Good. I forgot to turn my mic on, so I apologize. Can you hear me well or not? I'll turn the volume up here. It says nobody can see. I don't know why. I got the camera on. It's live. Okay, good. Loud and clear. Thank you for that. Is there no video up? Because I have the video going. It says it's on. And you see me. Good. All right. I'm going to try to put a chart up here and get us going. My premise for tonight was to talk about the energies and then where I can put them in each house for you in your natal chart to maybe help you navigate in the moment as we're dealing with some critical times. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about today and what I dealt with. I think evil's being exposed. And I think that what we're having to do is see it from a perspective that maybe will help us find the truth or find what's right even more. I appreciate everybody that's on, and I hope to help you and navigate, this thing from a natal position. So I want to wait a few minutes before I get going. I'm going to see if I can pull something up for a still picture here to show you what Taurus and some people can't get on, but I see a lot of you are on. I'm seeing you click on. Sunny Days is on. Jennifer Dang, Marianne Casano, Yvonne Dupree, Peg Finn. So I'm not sure here. Sorry, I'm texting, helping people try to get on here. So give me one sec. So what I was a little bit nervous about this time is that you'd get thrown off guard. I've talked a lot about staying in the middle, and Uranus likes to bring chaos, but always leaves you better than you're found. And then Jupiter is going to expand that, and those two planets were going to fall at 21 degrees Taurus. So I'm going to start with that in charts, and I want to talk a little bit about how and what we do with with that, or what we can best do. And I'll tell you what I'm doing with mine. With Uranus and Jupiter together in Taurus, Taurus likes stability. It likes a plan. It likes to work a plan. And I would say that Uranus is anything but that. Uranus rules the sign of Aquarius, which squares Taurus. So they don't really want to get along here. And so I really like when these two like clash because or collide, because I think that what can happen to us is we can come to insight that is like we couldn't connect the dots. It just came out of nowhere. Like I think we tap into our past or our soul and some lessons that we have that we can't like provide a license or a degree that says we know this, but we know it. And so that's why I love the planet Uranus, and I love it's in Taurus because I think we can take this stuff that we absolutely know and we can start applying it into this physical world that we dropped ourselves onto. So what I'm hoping that you do is you use your unique perspective, you take Jupiter and expand that, and you don't bring any fear, but you allow that to open and you allow that to work, and then build based on what you're noticing on this physical plane, Earth, right? Because Taurus is the first Earth sign, and it's a fixed sign. So the best way to maneuver in here is to apply, and then make sure that you uh, assess your application, what it felt like inside you, and then really assess what it's done to the world that you've encountered or the world that you live in. Take those two, weigh them back and forth, and then understand what a give and take is here, and understand that when I do something, yeah, it affects me. How does it affect others? How does it affect the outside world? And measure that as you go. Jupiter is going to expand your ability to an awareness. And I also, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, I think that the amazing thing that can happen is that you can come to an understanding. When I teach my class, I always talked about an understanding that you can then pass on. I always talk about Jupiter and Sagittarius being you with a video camera, and let's say you go to a place I've never been. You go, you video it, and you describe what the temperature's like, what the smell, the feel, the everything, and then I'm watching the video, but I'm listening to you give me what you understand where you're at, and then I can take that and I can understand from a perspective that has all of your faculties, right? Yeah, I can see what you're videoing, but I can also hear what you're saying. And it's because it's live. You give me in the moment play by play. So I like that we're able to do this with Taurus, because that's where we really can build a better plan here on Earth, and that's what it's about. Now we're coming to 21-degree Taurus. I don't know how you know about the cadence in astrology, but the three earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So the way that works, in 0 to 10 degrees, you're a Taurus. But from 11 to 20, you're a Taurus, Virgo slash energy. Well, we're at 21 degrees. I found that interesting because it's Taurus slash Capricorn. So you can build a plan, but you can also make it a master plan because it's in the last of the 10 degrees of Taurus, where it's ruled in astrology of the 21 to 30 degree of it's ruled Taurus and Capricorn. So what I would want you to do is find my house where Taurus 21 degree is. I'm going to start as if you were a chart of the northern hemisphere, and Aries. Uh, I'm sorry, I'll start with Taurus being in the first house, 21 degrees. And if it was me, right, I'm not going to consider a natal planet because I won't have a lot of time. But if it was me, what I would do is, if I had 21-degree Taurus, I'd be looking at in the first house. For one thing, I'd notice how much I've changed as Uranus has come across my ascendant into my first house. The first house in astrology is you. It's about how you see things, how you handle things, how you understand things. So what's happening to you is Jupiter's causing you to become your more unique self as it transited over your ascendant and I'm sorry, not Jupiter, Uranus, and into your first house. Because Jupiter came, there's one thing I do need to caution. If you have Taurus in the first house, you might gain a little weight here because Jupiter expands. And so I always caution people as Jupiter comes over the ascendant to be careful you don't find ways to gain a little weight because it may expand your waistline. But so having Jupiter and Uranus together in this first house, I would almost live by the mantra that I am the change here. I can build by the work I do. And you don't need to worry about necessarily being right or wrong because the first house is a cardinal house where it's about you taking action, you changing for how you need to change. So you'll be a little more self centered here with Taurus there. Hopefully, you're finding yourself this way and changing for you. What matters to you? What do you want? Don't ask why. Just say, wait a minute, I'm feeling like I want to change, or I want something new, or maybe you'll bring something from the past. I know I've done that in one of my transits. Uh, a heavily influential planet across my ascendant, my first house. I've gone back to something, and I was very reminiscent, right? And I actually brought things back that I loved, and I introduced those back into my life. And what a difference that made. Now, Uranus likes to bring something very new or something old that is applicable, but maybe you pushed it by the wayside. So hopefully you're finding that out about you. And so having Jupiter and Uranus there in that first house, you should almost be mesmerized by you and what you're doing and where you're going and how unique you actually are. And then also because Venus rules Taurus, which rules your first house, you'll be able to bring that across in a way that'll be very, I'm going to call it sensual or alluring. And I want that for you. I absolutely want that for you. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm having troubles reading there. So if I miss your text, I apologize, but I really want to make sure I get through hopefully within an hour, get through all the houses of where these planet positions will be. So if I'm the first houser and I have Uranus and Jupiter in there, and it's in Taurus, I'm going to build a better base that'll be very unique from my perspective. What I want is to have the building of a platform that will be what I can recognize, what I feel is important. And I think if you take that approach, you will find that your insight and the things that you'll be drawn to and the stuff that you'll gather, you'll be like, I wasn't even thinking about ever in my life that this is a chance to come to you, because Uranus rules the genius in us. And you're going to find and get insight from, I don't even know where it comes from. I think it's from the life force of the universe force. So you're the change. I'm hoping that you do this. I'm hoping that it's happening to you. It's a cardinal house. And I would really look at my approach of, I can finally become, or I am able to become, the unique person that I am. And you will come across, because it's easy, because it's a Venus ruled sign that you're dealing in. It's in the first house, where it will be appealing. It'll be appealing to those that need it to be appealing to. Now, if you have Taurus in the second house in your chart, and Taurus looks like it's like the bullhead. It's got the two horns going up, and it's the round. I don't know if you can see this. Probably not. It's right here. So it looks like that's Aries. That's the ram or the bull, and then Taurus is over here trying to get to it. Hopefully you can see that. It's 721. That's Taurus. So find that in your chart on the outer edge where this is. Let's say Taurus 21 degrees falls in your second house. Second house in astrology is ruled by Taurus, so you're favored there. It's about your value system. What do you need to convey the message in this life that you came to deliver? Are you valuing yourself? Do others value you? Second house, it's key for you to be reminded. I think right now, especially at these times, because everybody's looking out for themselves only, make sure that if you value yourself, make sure that you get the correct value back in return from others, right? Because I think Tauruses will do the work quietly. They get abused. And they will make sure the work's done. They'll put a plan together. They'll do the behind the scenes stuff. They don't have to jump out and be noticed, right? If you're having this conjunction there, maybe you need to notice that to a bigger level and realize who you surround yourself with in any environment where you have to work together with people. And then maybe you start disassociating with people that don't truly value you. But if you don't value you, and that's what I caution Taurus people a lot of time, if you don't value you, they're almost mimicking that. So you'll see this, right? You'll get to see this in others. So if you can turn it internal and go, what do I want? What do I need to go get what I want? You find some unbelievable insights here. Now, what I also like about Uranus here is Uranus is like an eclipse. It's like a lightning bolt out of the universe, and it will put you where you actually are, whether you know it or not, and it will leave you better than you're found. You might not like what happens initially, right? Uranus likes shocking and sudden change. I always remind you, leaves you better than you're found. In saying that, with Jupiter there, you might find yourself a little uncomfortable here. And I like that. Taurus don't like to be uncomfortable. They like to have a plan. They like to work the plan. They want to know. They want to know. They want to know. Uranus is in here just a little bit going, you don't need to know. What you need to know is you need to value yourself. Let the universe play itself out. What if you are exactly where you're supposed to be? If you have Jupiter in there and Uranus there in the second house, huge opportunity to change the income flow or stream from what you can generate. So know that you're not guaranteed anything. What I love about Uranus, it could bring you a ton. And then if you abuse a ton of money, ton of wealth, if you abuse it, it'll take it from you. So Uranus reminds you of where you possibly can go. It leads to I think, closer to the potential than any planet. But it also can jerk that from you in a minute. So you want to be careful here in that you value and you're grateful. You want those two things to happen. That's the second house. Taurus, 21 degrees in the third house. The third house, second house was a fixed house. The third house is a mutable house. And by that is you're a master, where you must observe. You must observe from internal perspective. You must observe when you take action, and then you must observe what happens to the outside world you've put yourself in, and then you must go, now what does that do for me to learn? So you're the master here. Uranus, I think, is the greatest teacher because it's constantly reminding us that we have a brilliance. We have this unique sense that cannot be taken from us unless we give it or we hand it away. Jupiter here is going to expand, or you'll find a need. Third house, we want to learn, right? We want to communicate. That's the house of communication. It's also siblings. So having Taurus there, having Uranus and Jupiter there, you're going to want to probably going to want to either study or teach, and maybe just newfangled things. Do not hesitate if you're drawn to something. Go to it. It's okay. You will be very well served by letting your hunches take you. Right? It might be a thought. It might be a intuitive thing. But I want you to know that you're either going to, or you're going to do both. You're going to learn, and you're going to want to teach, and we're going to need you to do both. With the comments I get from a lot of you, you're way more in the mastery of teaching mode that I'm hoping you do, because we need more like a lot of the people that follow me. It's not because they're following me, but I know they've been doing the internal work. If you've been doing the internal work, spread that news, get it out to people, get it out at this time, because you'll realize that if you do, you'll start attracting more that are people that are actually going to be beneficial for you. They'll give back what you give, right? So you're going to receive as well as give. The third house, it's at the bottom of the spring. One, 2, and 3 houses are spring. Plant a seed, nurture the seed, and then you want to really support and learn everything you can to make sure you have the right environment for that seed. This is where you're making sure the right environment is for what you believe, what you know. In that seed, that plant's grown, you're starting to look at it. Now, how do I keep this thing healthy? Think about that in anything that you're doing in these first 3 houses with this Jupiter Uranus. Your insight and your ability to get the piece of information you need most, Uranus is guaranteeing you'll get it. Don't panic. Do not panic. Don't panic thinking, I don't know, I'm not sure. No fear. Uranus will provide you the most brilliant insight you could ever imagine. Let this third house bring it to you. You might be able to do that for somebody else by truly just being you to them, but don't miss the chance and the opportunity that they'll do it back to you. So if it was me in the third house, which this is where mine is, it's in the third and fourth. I'm on a cusp. I'm kind of on both. What I'm doing is I'm trying to spread to you what I know. I'm being more unique in who I am, because I know Uranus is saying it's time for the truth. And so the truth is, I know what I'm getting out. Right? It might not be the truth as it is, but it's how I know it. So I'm getting it out there to get myself closer to the truth as it is. Hopefully that's helping you. Hopefully you've been seeing that with what I've been doing. That's why I did this tonight, as I thought, man, it's in my third house. I need to get this out. Okay. It's also down. I'm going to move to the fourth house now. It's the fourth house is summertime. The plant's grown, right? That's house 1 through 3. It's above ground. Now we got to go. How do we continually nurture this? Get it the sun, get it the water, get it what it needs to get to bear whatever it is plant we planted, whether it's a fruit or a vegetable or I don't care, a nut, I don't care. Mine are probably all nut trees the way I've operated. Fourth house, that very point at the bottom is called the IC. It's your most sacred point in your chart. It's where you have to look at your soul. I say from a naked perspective because it's how I want people to understand. It's you looking at your soul from a perspective that it just is. There's flaws in it. There's scars. There's wounds. There's victories. There's losses. There's, some deceit. There's hidden. There's that your soul is. It just is. You had to go through all those things because you were learning them along the way. If your Uranus and Jupiter are here, it's about you truly getting deep within you, and you can do about whatever you want to yourself here to overcome, to master, to succeed, to transition, whatever it is you do, transform. What I've been looking at and what I find myself drawn to is self-healing. So this is stuff I'm doing, trying to go deep within. Wherever I have an issue in my body, I'm trying to go to that body part and just feel it, think it, look at it, tell it I want you working well. Ask the universe, what can I do to get my body part to work well? This is also your home environment. I think your biggest home is your shell. You've got to take care of your shell, but you also got to take care of your home. What do you want in your home environment? What matters to you? Work diligently from internal and an external perspective on the home at the maintenance, right? Because that's what Taurus asks us to do, upkeep, to survive in whatever climate or environment you're in, whether it be your body and then you're in a stressful environment, try to remove the stress, whether it be your house and you live in a very warm, humid environment, you want to make sure you take care of things that the mold and the sun and the don't affect negatively your home. Okay. But this is also your soul. And so what I would do is cherish all that really cherish your intuition. Your intuitive side is screaming at you right now. And wake up to its beauty, wake up to its uniqueness, wake up to its magic. You will see things from perspectives that will alter people. The problem with society, the way it is we want them to get it when we get it. If you're down here and you had any of the first 4 houses where you have Taurus where this is coming, you're changing rapidly because these are all personal houses. You're changing rapidly. You might come across somebody that has Taurus in the 7th house where they're going to worry more about partners, right? So they might not be ready to change as much as you are. Know that as well. Know the cycle you're in. Know that you're in a heavy time of change and you're also in a heavy time of becoming more aware and finding the truth from the soul perspective from all that you've worked on. Jupiter will help you with this. So I look at a lot of opportunities here for soul growth and for you to create an environment that is way more conducive for you, right? So opportunities are abundant here for you to do that in the home, that soul most sacred spot of you for all time. Let's move towards to the 5th house. This is the house of love affairs, gambling, fun, speculation. If you have Taurus there, 21 degrees, what can you find that you love so much if you put your effort into it, it doesn't take energy from you? That's what the life force is. That's what it's magic there. It's things that you love so much, you do them because you love them. And it isn't a job. It doesn't have to feel like work. This is going on here in this house for you. You're a planner. You like things clean. You like things neat. From that perspective in the 5th house, make sure that you take and work from the perspective of, I love this. I'm going to give my everything here because I know my uniqueness and my ability to create and expand from here, because this is a house of creation, is limitless. It's never not been limitless. But I just think sometimes because where planets are in other parts of the chart, we spend more time. But right now, I'm begging you to spend time on what it is that brings you the life force, what makes you feel alive. It's also new people. You could very easily find a new significant other, very easily find things that to do and people that'll do them with you that are in line with what you think, what you believe, what you know. Huge opportunity for you to go find and define fun to a whole nother level. Jupiter likes to have fun. Uranus says, I'm going to do it in my unique way. Let that happen. Okay. Let that happen. Let your hair down a little bit and let that thing happen. Let it unfold, as the fifth house is where you must realize that, hey, I'm here. Um, I can have what I want. I can go get things I deserve. And the fifth house is where it helps you with that. The sun rules this house. This is a fixed house. So measure you taking action and then what that action has done to the environment. Fixed house. You got to be a little stubborn on both sides. But because the sun rules, this is where we find our spirit. That's why I talk about the life force is here. It is the life force. It's what makes us feel alive. So if you have Taurus there, that's what I would work on. Taurus 21 degrees in the sixth house. This is the ending, the last house of summer. So it's a mutable house. It's also the last house if you divide that chart left and right. I'm backwards here. All six houses are below the surface, so to speak. They're in the dark. It's where you're working on yourself. The sixth house is where we want to perfect ourselves. So guess what? Uranus is not real good at the perfecting side. So it's kind of ironic it's going to be here for you at this time. But what the key will be here is that in realizing how not perfect you may be with Uranus there, and you're finding more unique things about yourself, and the more perfect you probably are. Things that maybe made you feel uneasy, Uranus might make you realize that you were the only one feeling uneasy, or that's going to help others dealing so they don't feel uneasy. The ability and the need to perfect, Virgo rules this house, leads us to analysis paralysis, where whenever I see somebody heavy Virgo, I remind them that some of the trends or traits can be you wear yourself out in the mind and soul, and in the physical world, nothing shown. I've seen some of the sloppiest Virgos in my life, nothing organized in their house. And people, astrologers go, well, that's not them, right? Well, trust me, astrology rules either side, either extreme. I've seen the most organized, clean, neat freak, Virgo, and I've seen ones that can't keep anything up because they got so much going on. They're trying to perfect internally, and externally is a mess. So it's kind of silly and funny, but Uranus can help. You might flip. You might be that real neat one, and you might turn into a little more of a sloppy Virgo with Uranus being here. Is all it's trying to do is go, you're unique. Don't be so hard on yourself. The universe, Uranus it's always like in the back of my head going, that's right, Uranus. I am where I'm supposed to be, right? Everything's in order. Hopefully, if your Taurus is here, you like order, you probably have order. And hopefully, Uranus will remind you that don't control it, whether it's in order or not. It's where you are. Enjoy that. You can perfect yourself it's almost from the opposite effect that you're doing the opposite of perfecting yourself if you just think and analyze it. But if you let it go and you say, oh, I'm right where I'm supposed to be, you're realizing that you're finding out so much more about yourself that's going to help you in this house that's ruled by Virgo to even be more efficient. Now, before you want to rise up to the seventh house, you want to be the best you can be. And I'm telling you, Uranus, by bringing you the insight and the definite unique perspective of who you are, is going to help you become a better you, that you can attract a better someone else. It's not that that's the only goal, but the seventh house is of us finding and developing committed relationships. It's about partners. With Jupiter here too, this is the house of work and service. You can really become so much better of an asset for you first, but for others, right? As you want to, this is your ability to, and whatever it is you want to do. Taurus in this house, you probably would be somebody very good at beauty in any sector. I don't care what it is you chose. You do it in a classy Virgo way. Taurus way. Let Jupiter and Uranus take that to a unique. Throw unique in there. You could be a definite trendsetter here with Uranus there, and I'd love for you to be able to do that. That's the bottom. Let's go to house number 7. If you have Taurus here, huge opportunities to grab and find and help develop the unique side of an individual partner that you chose to merge with more than just on a surface level. Um, you might get several partners here. Jupiter rules 3 or more. It's all these houses, 3 or more, right? I should have said that to start. Know that you might have a partner, you love that partner, but maybe you can help that partner find more of who they are that will be better for you as well. I think that would be a wonderful approach here, in that you can't make somebody do something they're not ready for, but in how you love them and how you support them and how you interact with them. The goal here is to find and get that most unique, um, sensual, alluring partner you could get. That's good for you. So you're going to win too if you can find them, if you can help them get to things that are even better for you. Now, it's not a matter of you succumbing and to them or whatever, but it's a matter of just supporting, right, and helping. And you're going to win here too if you help them become their best. And it's truly from a perspective that it's from a perspective that's pure. So if you do this, and the opportunities come to you to help and get with someone, a partner with someone, I think you'll find very unique partners that, and this is what I love about Uranus here. They might not have the look or the physical appearance that you might think you're drawn to, or whatever. They might be everything you don't think you like, and it might be everything you need. So Uranus takes you to the truth and in its most unique path. So know that. I'm not going to say it's going to be somebody ugly or whatever, but they might be very, 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 very good for you. And you lost out because you went after being a Taurus. Oh, they're nice looking. But you may have lost by getting the best possible energy for you to partner with. In that deep inside, they were really good for you, but you didn't see it because they didn't have that shell that you were hoping for. Now, I know it helps to have a good looking shell. I'm not stupid. And I get that. But man, when you put the whole package together, it's really easy to love someone that you go along with and you get along with. Here's a unique chance. Jupiter is going to provide you some opportunities. So let it, in that this is the partnership house. Who and what do I want in a partner? Am I going to be unique in my approach and how I look at it? 7th house, 8th house, others' values, others' money. Yes, huge opportunity for others to support and value you. You got to value them. This will be out of the blue. Uranus comes in an unexpected way. That's just how it works. That's why I love it so much. I think I know everything. I study, and oh man, I got it. I got it. Uranus reminds me, I never really got it. I might be getting better, but Uranus reminds me that we have to keep the approach that anything's possible, because that's what Uranus is. So having that here, this is where a huge wealth can be introduced, right? And it might not be money. I'm saying wealth. Maybe it's love. Maybe it's abundance of support that you never got from somebody else, right? So huge opportunities to be valued and to value others in ways that you share, and you make that, it's like 1 + 1 equals more than 2, right? Because when you get together, you support each other and help each other so much. Very unique. So don't try to put too much of a plan together. Don't put too much of a ideal scenario together. Let Uranus work its magic. You'll take it. It'll go so much farther. I always talked Uranus with me when I started my company. I just had set in my mind, man, what if I just need to make $1 million. I want to make $1 million. This was back in the 90s. What I realized as the business started going, I was capping that off all the time. I wouldn't let it grow any higher. When I realized that I didn't want my business to be valued from a dollar amount, I wanted it to be valued from what we provided. I blew that $1 million thing away because I took the glass ceiling off. Don't glass ceiling yourself here with the potential partner that you deserve, that can help you value them and they help value you. You deserve to receive, but you got to be willing to receive. And there's a lot of people out there I surrounded myself with them where when I did something for them, or even worse, when they did something for me, I knew what I was going to have to pay them back was 100 times more than whatever I received from them. I learned to slowly remove myself from those people. It was never going to be enough for what I did for them, right? They would always, because they knew I'd take it on the chin, they'd always say, well, I did this for you, or I did that for you. If you've done that, this will be a huge time if Taurus and Jupiter are here for you to stop doing that. Huge thing. Realize that, yeah, somebody might have helped you. Was it worth the price to pay for the help you got? I don't know. That's up to you. Ninth house, Jupiter rules this house. Sagittarius rules it. Also, eighth house is death and rebirth. So if a death occurs, you might get it through an inheritance. I got to at least toss that in. I'm not saying it's going to, so please don't get all whacked out on me here. Ninth house, Sagittarius rules the ninth house. This is where we take the video camera with us. And we are going to show you, tell you, describe to you, give you every bit of information. So you have the backdrop, you're looking at the scene, you know what's going on. It's us shooting a video of our life, what we know, where we're at. How we know, we maybe we'll even go into that. You're going to get some tremendous insight into you, and you'll be drawn to things that maybe you never have, or maybe you'll be drawn to things that you used to be drawn to, but you removed yourself from them. I'm taking a drink here. Hold on. If so, then take this Sagittarius house, and what is your philosophy? At this moment in time, today, April 22nd, 2024, what do you know? Maybe it's time for you to assess that, talk about it with others. Let them talk to you about where they are. You might catapult yourself somewhere that you never knew you could go in a short amount of time. It's about where we want to talk, and we want to philosophize, and we want to know, right? But we also want to teach, so to speak. Great time for travel here. Don't think that travel's not an opportunity. It may come out of the blue. That may be your best stuff. Uranus likes that. Shocking, sudden. So you may travel somewhere that you never even thought about, wondered about. You go there and you're like, that's the greatest place I've ever been. I feel home. Or you might change your home environment, right? You might change, you might start something that helps change your life and how you feel, how you think, what you believe. All that is potential here. Meditation's good for this. Meditation's good all the time, but really good here. Also coming to an understanding to help you with you. Okay. And then when you do that, you'll be able to help others. I love the ninth house as it's where we check all the boxes. Let's say that I was going to do this video. I had to go through a little bit of a list before I want to talk to you guys, the girls. I want to go through the list, make sure I bring what I think I'm prepared to do to have the video right before I shoot any videos. That's what you're doing in the ninth house, because the 10th house is where you get honored for what you know. Wouldn't we want to get honored for all that we know, as much as we know? Wouldn't we want that out there, and we want people to know what we learned and help? Maybe that helps them. Even if it doesn't help them, maybe it opens their mind to get them started, to get them restarted on finding more of who they are. So the ninth house is where you must be prepared to give and let people in for what you know, so they can then take that and use that so they can become better. It's that old adage. If I give my all here and you notice that, that may influence you to give your all. And if we're all out there giving our all for really, 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 really good, energetic things, this world would be matching the universe, because it's not yet, because we're in the physical plane. People try to take control. We'd match the universe where everything is exponential at all times. We will get back to that. Go to the 10th house. This is where you get honored. So Jupiter there is going to expose that which you've done, usually in very generous ways. Uranus there, expose your unique side. Because the 10th house is where the accolades and the honors show. I'm not saying to hide, but I also want you not to use the ego, because Uranus will kick you in the ass if your ego gets out of check. What I would do here if I'm 10th house Virgo, I'm 10th house Taurus, sorry, 21 degree, I would be open to promotions, open to uh, any insight that people have on how I help them, any insight in uh, what they've learned maybe because of us, they helped them go see. I would listen to all those things. Not that you sit back and, like you're laying there and you're feeding me grapes or feeding yourself, you have others feed grapes. I'm not saying that. I'm saying just stop for a minute and go, I am truly grateful for all that I've done. And I'm going to be aware of how it's helped and what it's done for others. So, because this is the key now, this 10th house is the very beginning of the next time planets go back over to the ascendant. So, what you're doing is, yeah, you're being recognized for all the work you've done, houses 1 through 9, but you're also in that initial phase of starting the next cycle because there is a next one. There always is going to be one. Whether you're in this shell or not, I don't care. So, step back, be grateful, receive and listen and just absorb that which you're told so you can take that internally, because this is also a cardinal house where you must do. You'll take and then use that in your first or initial steps in the next phase. Very, 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 very good flow of energy time, unless you're not ready for shock and sudden. If you're not, it'll be a struggle. It'll be funny because the way Uranus works, it might come in a way that looks like, oh man, this is fucked. I'm screwed. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. This is screwed, right? This ain't. And then it turned out to be the most beautiful thing to ever happen because it comes with chaos. And how you handle that after all you've learned, you should learn that chaos is necessary, right? It is necessary. You can keep it minimized, but it is necessary. The way to best handle chaos is like, I'm going to be in the middle and I'm going to let this thing flow. Okay. 11th house, hopes, wishes, dreams. Uranus rules this house. If you have Taurus here, you're probably a big planner into the future. What's tomorrow? Where are we going? And this is where you took that second baby step of where you could possibly go. What I'm hoping, if you have Taurus here, it's about I'm where I'm supposed to be. I've done my part. I've learned, I've applied, I've listened, I've observed. And now that you're in this house, it's like, what are my potentials? What do I want out of whatever's left in my life? Now, you might be 20 looking at this, but it's a huge moment here with Uranus here to get unbelievable insight from the unique perspective of you. And with Uranus in its own house, 11th house is ruled by that. I said that a minute ago. Huge opportunities for what's possible. What can tomorrow look like in your world, in your perspective? I would journal, meditate, can journal again, and just continually write down and have no purpose. I don't want the first thing I journal to lead to the second, to the third. No, just journal whatever comes to you. Meditate, dreams, write them all down because this house hopes, wishes, and dreams. What are the potentials? Now, that's how the whole universe works outside of this structure we're in. We've got to bring that here, and this house is where we help do that. If you have Uranus and Jupiter here, huge opportunities for the potentials. Don't worry about the end result. Worry about what you believe. The end result will happen if you get in line with the universe. So it's not about how do I get there. I know you're Taurus. That's why I'm talking about it, Taurus there. But just say and go from the perspective of what possibly is potential here. Or is there any potential? Is it exponential? I'm hoping you do that and you understand that. Let me do the 12th house and then we'll stop and we'll go to Scorpio. 12th house. This is the house of karma. And my whole life, karma was like, oh God, I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to have to pay for something, right? That's how I started. Then when I got into astrology, I realized, wait a minute, what about the good stuff I've done? What about what I know? What about the good stuff I've done? I've continually worked on. What if I paid it forward, right? So I love the word karma because it has extreme definitions for people. Some people cower and hide and run from it. Some people embrace it because they're like, I've done my part. I deserve karma. Let's go. I don't mind karma. Every day I assess myself internally and I do what in my heart or my soul is right. So they don't mind karma. The ones that are on the edge and maybe not doing what they know is right or struggle with I'm doing this for me. I don't care about anybody else. They struggle here. So in this house, it's also self imprisonment. It's also major health issues. You could heal yourself here with Uranus and Jupiter. You can heal yourself now. Because the Scorpio moon's tomorrow, and I was waiting to say this, but I'll say it here. Full moon. I think we're coming to the end of things, end of a lot of end of evil, or the revealing of evil. So it's not going to be as hidden as it was. We're seeing that now. So if you have all that in this Taurus in the 12th house, huge opportunities to go through all of your lives. Where you got those scars, why you have gifts that you have, why you don't seem to have gifts or luck in certain areas. All that's here. Use Uranus to get you the insight and use Jupiter to help you to overcome if it's a point that you stop or stuck, and you can overcome that. Huge cycles can be ended here. So it's huge that you think I can end cycles. And you want to be careful. You may end a good one that you didn't want to end, but huge opportunities to end cycles. If the contract's over, end it and get on the next cycle. Let's go. Because this 12th house is the very last phase, but it's also very huge in the evolution or the next phase of transformation when you cross over the ascendant again to house number 1. So 12th house, Taurus there. Yes, work on karma. But I always look at it like, all right, now where can I go back into my arsenal and pull out the stuff that I've worked on and pull out the stuff that are going to benefit me. And I'm going to use it in my arsenal of benefit for good, not for evil, for blessings, for help, for right, for growth, positive, right? All that's there. If you're there, I'm hoping that this takes you there from perspective that you're understanding it. I know it is because remember I said Uranus leaves you better than your family. So we don't maybe grasp that until here's how Uranus works. It comes with chaos. You get all discombobulated. I've done it many times in this life dealing with Uranus. I'm an Aquarius ascendant. And until later down the road, I become that brilliant Monday morning quarterback. I look back, it had to happen that way. I had to lose my job, or I had to get moved to another department, or I had to go through the divorce because the contract was ending and I was trying to hold on to something that was done from both sides of the equation. I just didn't want it to go. I was holding on. My ego got in the way. What it does is it makes you realize or gets you to realize that there is an order. And I don't like to say order out of chaos because the elite have taken that, but it is order out of chaos. The elite have taken it. They don't own it. They bring chaos. We don't intentionally bring it, in my opinion. I think it happens and we deal with it. They intentionally bring it. So they've abused it for their own good. And then they don't want you to realize that it's actually a positive or a very beneficial way to get insight or take monumental leaps in your evolution. All right. That's Taurus. 21 degrees, Jupiter, Uranus through the 12 houses. I hope you found it. If not, I'm going to ask you to email me back. I'm just looking at the comments real quick. It looks like nobody's written anything. I hope y'all are listening or you're taking a nap. I get how this goes with me. I get boring. So good. Connecticut. All right. How we doing here? Is everybody still on? Anybody get what I say? Everybody don't get anything? Are you able to follow in your charts? Can I have a couple comments on the thread? Good. I'm listening. That's good. I'm here. You're not boring. Thank you. Sunny days. I love you and I don't know you. How's that? Thank you. Mine is 10th house MC at 2 degrees Taurus. Okay, so you're in the 10th. When I talked about the 10th, did that resonate with you? Is it Shannon? Yeah, it's Shannon. The writing's so small here. I'm struggling. I look like an old guy. Thank you, Yvonne. Loving all that you have shared, Jim. Thank you. Not boring. Good. Are y'all ready to go to the Scorpio now? Because this is Scorpio full moon. I love. Yeah, I will put this up so it'll be on my page, my YouTube page, so you can go back and look and listen. So the good thing about this is that's why I thought if I did this live and I put it on the page, let's say you're not getting me 100%. I think all of you know me. I will respond. Get in the comments down below and say, look, I'm here in the second house or fifth house or eighth house. I didn't quite understand what you're saying. I will more than happy try to help you get there. I think you know me enough. Let me tell you a little bit about me. When I learned astrology, Saturn was at the bottom of my chart. A lot of people die then. Okay. I don't want to tell you you're going to die when Saturn gets to the bottom of the chart. Your life force is low. That when you're at the bottom of your chart between houses 3 and 4, your life force is low. When any planet goes on there, your time energy should be consumed for you. You need to be selfish. It's hard for people. I'm a Libra. Hard for me to do that. When Saturn was down there, I couldn't take a step. I was so tired. I didn't want to go on. I was done, right? But what I had to learn was it was about me finding me. And I had to go to the hell part, find me, dig in there a little bit and bring this thing out, right? So I don't care where you are in your chart. There's times when you need to be selfish. The very bottom of your chart is one of those times. So know that. You got any planets going to house 3 at the bottom, house 4. What the hell do you want and who are you? Where you're at in the moment. Find yourself where you are. At every moment when a planet comes, you've evolved. You're not exactly the same. Okay. So don't hesitate to do that. Good. I saw that. I did not get your birth information, Marianne. So that's why I didn't have your birth info. So, all right, I'm going to go to Scorpio. This Scorpio moon is going to be on my IC. Holy cow, Shannon! Wow, it's good stuff, man. I'm not jealous. I was born with the moon at the very bottom of my chart, but it's in Taurus. So I do deep, deep soul searching. Unfortunately, you're going to be locked in intuitively, and I'm going to tell you a little bit here, Shannon. You'll probably resonate mostly with where it is. Excuse me. This Scorpio moon, remember I talk about Scorpio and Pluto. They rule extremes, death, rebirth, right? Which one's which? I don't know. I don't know which is worse. I think birth sometimes, and if you watch my videos, I talked about it. That was probably the last real choice you made was being born. Everything else was set once you did it. So that's the hard one, being born. And I look at that a lot, and it's very interesting. They got us so afraid of death. The toughest thing was to be born and get plopped into this damn simulation that we got plopped into. It took me a long time to get that, but man, when I see it now, it's amazing. So this Scorpio moon, remember, especially this one, it's full and it's squaring Pluto. That's why I think it's so important. It's squaring almost exactly Pluto. Pluto is at 2 degrees of Aquarius, and this is going to be at 2 degrees of Scorpio. In that, I'm telling you, what's happening is the beneath the surface is being revealed. The evil is being sniffed out. I'm not saying it's being completely cared for and taken care of. It's being sniffed out. It's our job with this full moon to figure it out. That's evil. I'm not going to have that anymore. You're going to get more purpose here with this full moon. You should have more purpose by now. 2, sniff the evil out, recognize it. And I don't want to say squash it right away because you might try to squash it and you'll get squashed. But recognize it and go, all right, universe, I recognize it. What are me and you going to do about this? What are me and you and my group going to do about this? And what's going to happen is evil is going to get exposed to levels that they cannot hide. You cannot get told a false scenario anymore. And that's happening. That's happening now. They dropped silver $1.24 today. Between me and you, I don't really care. I think that people are now seeing that they artificially affect that market, right? They artificially affect it. So get ready. I'm seeing a lot of scenarios in society where the criminal is the victim, okay? And the victim has to prove their self not being the criminal, so to speak. So in other words, victim has to almost prove their innocence, and the criminal doesn't have to do shit. It's happening, but that's going to end. It's in your face so bad that you are going to deal with it. This full moon is going to bring it to you and show you. So I don't mind that. I like it because I'm sitting in the middle here, like I've been begging y'all. I'm going, oh, that's interesting. That's a form of evil that I've known for 20 years, but I think society's now looking at it. I've been trying to work on it, but if you're not ready to work on it, I don't bring it up to you. It's not my job to be in charge of everything. I'm not in charge of anything. I'm in charge of myself. As I become aware, I can't bring all this. I can't take you from step 1 to 30 because I remember when I was at step 1, I couldn't go to 30. I would have screwed the whole damn thing up. I'm not saying I'm at 30 and you're not. You're probably at 30 and other stuff that I'm not good at, and I'm okay with that. But what I'm telling you is as I try to make you aware of things that I know, I put them out there from more of an energy perspective, so you can then go find it for yourself instead of just laying it all out there. I don't think that's the right way to do it. Now, I know it wasn't the right way for me. If I wanted it, I would go get it, and that was the best way for me because then I found out from my perspective. So 2 degrees of Scorpio. Find that in your chart. This is going to be a doozy. This moon is bringing about the hidden. It's bringing about the truth. In finding the truth, sometimes you have to sniff out what's not true, the lies. We're doing that. That's coming. There's more right now being exposed that's lies than the truth. But the problem with us is it's like karma. Which side do you look at? When I say look for the truth, try to find the truth, doesn't mean you aren't gonna go down the path of lies to get to the truth. Sometimes that's what has to be done. Don't know where you are, don't care. I know I have to sometimes sniff out the lies to a level that make me or get me to the point that I can't not see the truth now, right? You don't want to see the half truth. Well, I shouldn't say that. Maybe you're at the half truth side. I'm not. I'm trying to find the truth, trying to find the answer, how things are. It's the way it is. That's what I'm looking for. So Scorpio first houser. Now, anywhere Scorpio is in your chart, you deal in extremes. Sorry to tell you. So if you're Scorpio first houser, you will attract people because you are the Scorpion energy. That first house is how people initially pick you up. You attract people that appear to be an enemy for no reason, or they're mesmerized by you for no reason. That happens your whole life, right? Because it's extreme. It's black or white. It's life or death. It's good and evil, right? So what you're doing is you're going to learn by doing good, sticking with that, what that does, and then you'll learn by either doing evil or having evil done to you. There's no middle ground here. You're dealing with the life in extremes. You're strong enough because you asked for Scorpio to be there to handle that. Okay. So I don't feel sorry for you. Part of what you wanted to learn be you are going to come and be extremes. You benefit tremendously at times. You lose tremendously at times. The key will be on this moon for you. It's at 2 degrees. It's early, but it's square in Pluto. Is owning and knowing, right? And not abusing from an ego perspective, your soul. You are damn powerful. Anywhere we have Pluto, you're powerful. You are powerful. You would draw people that wanted to take your power. You might give it to them. I don't know. Don't matter to me. But there's a power exchange that occurs. Call it white and black. Call it good and evil, whatever. But it's a power struggle. People feel like you're trying to take their power. That's why they right away guard against you. You might feel that way about others. This moon is a way to end. Remember, a full moon is a culmination. We're lighting up the hidden, the night. So it's a way and a chance to end that which has bothered you, or cycles, right? Because that's what Pluto is, that can be overcome. So becoming more aware of your power. Own it. Don't give it away. Careful, because giving it away is a problem. You find somebody that needs to be saved. That's great. You can put every ounce of everything you got and from that Plutonian first house or Scorpio first house perspective into that person. And if they don't want to be saved, guess what you're not going to do? You ain't saving shit. It's up to you to figure that out, right? You've got to assess what you're dealing with. And then if you can learn to get in the middle, Scorpio, toughest thing to do, right? Whenever somebody says something, you look at and explain why you're justified. I'm not that way, or how you are that way, right? Cut that out. Get out of there. You're powerful. Know you're powerful. Don't justify it. Stop justifying. Okay. This moon can help you with that. Also, because full moons are showing you, right, by lighting up the night sky so you can see things that were normally hidden. Maybe you'll find something hidden about yourself that you're not even giving yourself recognition for. That's why I said own your power. That's your soul. You've worked on this. You know it's there. You deserve. Don't let the ego take over. Second house, your value system. Same thing. This theme is going to be handing your power or taking somebody else's. That's really how this is going. Do you give your power away or you try to take somebody else's? Get out of the power struggle. You're already powerful. You don't need to struggle back and forth. The key will be here, second house, your value system. Do you do jobs and do you get compensated fairly or equal value for what you provide? I don't know. You're going to have to answer that. I can tell you this, wherever we have Scorpio, it is ridiculous and miraculous what the upside can be. But guess what? It's ridiculous and what how miraculous the downside can be. We're learning extremes. So own your power. Make sure you're compensated. You may have to buck up against some people. Wherever we have Scorpio, we have resistance. It's power that's trying to get somebody's trying to take our power because they can use it to feel who they are. It's actually evil, right? Evil cannot create its own power, so it has to take somebody that has power. Life force. I believe that I talked to you about that in the videos. Third, so second house is you valuing yourself. Make sure you get the correct value for what you are providing. Egoless. Everything's going to be egoless here. Third house. We talked about teaching and learning. You may have to learn some dark stuff, right? I don't have any problem with people wanting to watch murder mysteries. If you have Scorpio here, you do that stuff, and I love it. So don't kid yourself. I think that's life is death is a part of life, right? So birth is a part of life. Death and birth, one has to occur for the other to occur. So you're probably a masterful teacher that'll take people to, I don't want to say just the dark places, but make people think, make them get intense, right? Your ability to bring the intensity out because you have it. You don't want to experience anything lightly. You're going to put that intensity out to help others, teach others, but that's also how you're going to learn. So if you're there in that third house, what is it that matters to you? What is it you're drawn to? What is it that you can go to learn or to teach? What can you teach? What do you know? Have any fear of what you can share with others, because that's really what that third house is. Now, the fourth house, only because I have several. If you have Scorpio down here or Pluto in the fourth, I'm going to tell you something that you're probably not going to like, and I don't care because it's true. You probably never, ever feel at home. Well, it's because you're through Scorpio in the fourth house of home, right? The most sacred spot. It's not a curse. What it is you're trying to figure out from all perspectives what home is. Because I can tell you what, in the next life, your home's going to be amazing because you sorted it out from a soul level. Having the moon down here, you will search deeply within you. Who are you? What are you? What makes you tick? Why are you intense? What are things that you're drawn to that might embarrass you? A lot of people, look, sex is huge with Scorpio energy and Plutonian energy. You're very sexual. Wherever this falls in your chart, sex is very important. Might be of you resisting it or you wanting it or needing it. If you have it down at the bottom, you're definitely a very sexual individual. Don't be ashamed. Just what you came to learn. Reproduction. Think about that. Think about what reproduction brings. It brings life, right? It does. It brings life. Fourth house, huge opportunities for the home and the home environment. What do you need to find you? How do you find this? You can heal yourself here. Big time healing can happen. Meditation would be good for you. The key for this individual Fear. Maybe you deal with fear, face it head on at this moon to end it or to reveal what you're actually afraid of. What I found in my life, I had fear, but it was based on from I grabbed it from others in my life, whether it be a parent, sibling, a significant other, whatever. I was taking on their fear, trying to help them. Guess what? It wasn't even mine, but I owned it. Down here, you might find yourself do that. I'm not a victim guy. Anybody that knows me, I don't like victims. I hate to go there. I know there's times that somebody else affects us. I get it, but you let them affect you. And that's where I always go. What can I do about that? What can I do? Having Scorpio down here, this full moon, illuminate that which you are, what you want. Huge opportunity for you to transform and realize just how damn powerful you are. Fifth house, Scorpio, 2 degrees there. Love affairs, speculation, gambling, children. A lot of people have Scorpio in the fifth house, don't have kids because they realize the burden from a soul level already of what a child can be. Not that it is. I'm not saying they are. I have 4. But know that they deal with all that from a soul level, right? So anywhere we have that, you're dealing at a soul level. So if you have this full moon here, I would really get down to what actually do I love. If you've done that, I would get after, if you know what that is, get after that because that will bring the life force back to you. Also, you're probably very good and very interesting to others because you're so intense. You don't do anything lightly. Know that if this is a partner you're seeking, because this is love affairs, make sure they'll match your intensity. Maybe you want somebody else to come to you. I don't care. If that's what you want or need right now, that's good. But make sure there's an intensity level that's matched. Because I trust me, if you didn't have power over somebody, you might like it, but you won't like it forever. It's karmic. Maybe you need to learn that now, and maybe they need to come to you and submit. I'm fine with that. Maybe you need to submit to somebody else at this time. Fine with that. But know that it's temporary until you learn your lessons. So be careful here, please. I'm not telling you to go submit or to find somebody and make them submit to you. I'm not saying that, but it's a power exchange from somebody else, so you can see what you do and how it affects somebody else from an intimate perspective. Somebody that you really have to get to know. Also, don't forget to get after because the life force gets generated or gets accessed here to where you can do things with uh, superhuman power if you resonate and if it makes you feel alive. Sixth house, again, where we must perfect. If you have Scorpio here, you're very, very intuitive. You're very good at picking out others. Others are very good at understanding you have power and they are afraid of you. Hopefully, you can recognize that. The full moon here, get healthier. Take care of you, recognize and be aware of others because you're perfecting yourself. So they're getting to see almost like the final run before the play. We open the curtains. They get to see it. So they see all of you. Make sure that you um, are aware of how that affects others because you're getting ready to go above, right? To commit to somebody else. So full moon here, what I would recognize is try to recognize is how do I become healthier from a perspective of what I put in my body, how I think, what I think, um, and from that perspective, really look at doing research because you're intense to try to keep the daily routine because that's also what this house is a ruler of is a daily routine. And maybe you get and try to find a better rhythm. Maybe you need to take a nap. Maybe you are disruptive in your sleep, and maybe you can find ways to sleep better. Maybe meditation will happen, and it benefits you health wise. But here's a huge chance to get healthier from the shell point, the perspective of your body, and you're perfecting yourself. So don't be so hard on yourself in this house. Realize that you are human, and there's good things to come by you realizing what not to do. My whole life is about what not to do, most of it because I had to do things the wrong way because I'm heavy Scorpion as well. And doing the wrong way, figure out the right way. So don't kid yourself. There's a lesson in having to learn from the negative side. Just don't stay there, please. Okay. Seventh house, partners. You need an intense partner. You are an intense partner, potentially. Will you be able to They can take you to levels. They'll need to take you to levels. Will you be able to exchange the energy and the intensity um, with them? I hope. A very powerful structure, place for Scorpio here. If you have Pluto here, you deal in power, people. So know that you're not bringing anybody in. That's just a little fly by nighter. Just come to smell the daisies and tiptoe through the tulips, so to speak. No, it's going to be intense in all of your encounters. Um, oh man, my grandson broke his clavicle. It's his damn birthday today too. That sucks. He's playing on the playground. That sucks. Anyway, uh, so Scorpio, full moon in that house. Know that that partner might bring to you intensity. Know that you might bring them to them, or if you don't have a committed partner, huge opportunity for you to assess what is a best committed partner for you and define it all the way to its most minute thing. Remember, any water sign, which Scorpio is, water dissolves, breaks things down to particles that you can sort out and explain and understand. So that's what has to happen. You got to break things down. You get the full force, the intense, whatever, and then it's about breaking it down and coming to an understanding of why the intensity is there, what it's created from, what it. So you got to be really careful as you do that. The potential for a partner is power, but your power. So don't hand your power and don't take theirs, but find somebody that you can match. Enjoy the intensity. Breaks from the individual might be good. Full moons make us all. It reveals the hidden, I guess, is what I'd say about you to them and them to you. So know that. And don't get sideways if you can help it. If they do reveal something that you weren't ready for, something shocking, something. So be careful. Scorpio in the eighth house, 2 degrees. This is others' values. They will have power. You might be extremely uh, wealthy. They may take it all from you. They might be extremely wealthy and share it all with you. Don't let power exist just for power's sake. This is something that the potential's there. You don't have to seek it. It's already there. As you draw to you what you need, you will draw power from a perspective of it's their ability to access and the things they've created with what their intensity is. And it's your ability to um, bring those people and their values into your life. So this is a life and death thing also, birth and death, I should say. So rebirth, huge rebirth can happen here. Insight can happen here. I love this house because it's extremes, and the intensity could be, should be at a pretty high level as having Scorpio here in the full moon there. It's about endings for beginnings. You're an extreme to that, okay, from the soul perspective. So it's something you might see something and it might seem really subtle, but you're looking at it like, I know it's over and I know this is the time that it started, you know. Um, so don't kid yourself because Pluto can sometimes be so damn subtle, but it's relentless. It won't go away. It'll keep eating at you. And this is all the houses until you address it, or it'll keep reminding you until you benefit from it. One of the two. What we don't want to do is, with power, for power's sake, take someone else's or give ours to somebody else. Just give it up. Okay. We have to help them with it, but you want to make sure you don't hand it over because they're seeking power for power's sake, potentially. Ninth house. Tell us what you know. I love Scorpios because they don't look the part, right? They may be that gentleman looking guy or that very nice prim and proper lady, and you get just the opposite when you close that door. So that's why I love the Scorpion energy, but you got to be careful because man, can they get intense. So um, they like the intensity, they're drawn to it, but they can act like they don't even want to touch it. So you want to be careful. They can hide better than most. Ninth house, don't hide your world from us right now. Show it to us, please. That's where I'm going with this. Show us what your world is, what you know. Don't be afraid to do that. Now, I know you're never going to over reveal because you always like to keep the cards close to your chest. I get it. But the ninth house, huge opportunity for you to during this full moon, maybe expose a little more of what you know, who you are, what you believe, even if you think it'll go against the grain. Don't worry about that. You might plant a seed here based on somewhere that you've gone, you've developed, you've understood that'll help. Okay. So do not miss that opportunity. 10th house, you're going to be getting known for what you do. I'm sure it's going to be a pretty prominent thing here. No matter where it is, it'll be prominent and it'll be, I'll say what I want to say. I'm going to say deserved. But it's about being recognized, and it's about don't own what they say, but just listen to it and see if they truly know you. Because I promise you, you've hidden parts of who you truly are. So what they're actually saying and where they're going may not be you, but you might find that special one that sniffed you out, and they know you, and be grateful for that, because that's somebody you might want to look at if you're 10th house and go, I need to maybe look at partner in my next cycle with this person, or find things we can do together, whether it's partner or not, because we could be a hell of a team. 10th house also is a beginning of where can you go with all this? What do you know? How have you transformed? What have you become through what you've done that was right and you learned, and what you've done that was wrong and you learned not to do? Don't hesitate there. Listen to everything people say, and then you'll see what you already knows deep within you if it's being portrayed out into the outer world. Huge opportunity for you to know where you actually are by how they bring back the accolades or the honors to you. And you remember, this is also 10th house, but it's the beginning of the next phase when you cross over the ascendant again. So you'll say, all right, where did I miss in showing them that this part of me or whatever? So listen very carefully. 11th house, hopes, wishes, dreams. Don't care if they're light or dark dreams. Don't care if they're good or bad. I don't care about any of that. What matters to you? What do you believe? Huge time at this full moon and going, all right, this cycle's ended. I'm going to let that go, because I got to make room for something new to come in, something that I believe I can go to, or I haven't done yet, or there hasn't been enough time. Remove, if you can, 11th house for tomorrow. You remove the past if you can, to get to and save room or energy for tomorrow. Tremendous time to do that when full moon Scorpios, and if you have Scorpio here in the 11th house. Transformation happens here. Where do you want to go with who you are, the intensity you have, and don't have a physical attachment to it if you can help it. Sometimes you have to do it. I get it. But where do you want to go? What can you do? Where can you go? 12th house, karma. This is a huge one. Sometimes we lose here. Sometimes we lose full moon in the 4th, 8th, and 12th houses, because those are water houses, right? But they bring endings. It's just, I don't want to go into details. So something can end here. Doesn't have to be an individual. You might find something out that ends the way you think and believe. I get all that. Somebody might bring something to you that ends that. Somebody may pass on. Know that that's all in line, because you're sitting here. I can't take things with me that the 12th house, or I'm being revealed in the 12th house, that are no longer needed. This is what gets sorted out. What do you need? What do you need to let go of? Both those things are just as important. Or what do you need to bring back that you let go in another phase, but you're ready to reintroduce it for this transformation that's getting ready to occur? There will be some hidden that will be extremely beneficial or detrimental. I don't want to kid you, that you'll reveal, and maybe you'll end, if it needs to go, that from being detrimental anymore, or being you're stuck in the cycle. The karma here with where Scorpio is, if that full moon brings the hidden, the karma is that you will access and help your arsenal, or relieve your arsenal being so heavy if you're not using it all, to then be way more efficient. So this is an extremely intuitive karmic thing. You might have dreams, deja vu. Your intuition will be off the charts. Your intuition will also be off the charts in house 4. If you have Scorpio in 4, 8, and 12, especially at this full moon. So watch for what comes to you. I have Scorpio at the top. Man, you would not believe the stuff that happened to me today. Crazy. Well, my grandson, 3 years old, today broke his damn clavicle playing. So terrible, because he is such a good little kid, man. But karma, 12th house, chance for you to tie up loose ends, to be more free as you move forward. So there's not as much pulling you down or back. Okay. All right. That's Scorpio 2 degrees through the houses, 21 degrees Taurus through the houses. I'd love to know how effective this is through comments and things. I could talk as fast as anybody. I did okay. I was hoping an hour and a half. I was shooting for an hour 20. I did okay. Let me know what you think. I appreciate the people on. Appreciate the people that made comments. And if you want, we can chat for a minute. Or I don't want to go any past 9:30 because I know it's late for some. But if somebody has a question or something, we can do the chat. If you're good, we can move on. So, what do y'all think? What do you want to do? Somebody. Sorry about. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that just tore me up, man. I'm sorry. That sucked. My daughter. I sent my wife over to go be with her. We'd be with her daughter because she was with the babysitter. So we knew something wasn't good, but then that happened. It's like, oh man. So, well, thank you for that. So, um, I hope y'all use this effectively or proved it was effective. We have this Uranus Jupiter conjunction for the next like 8 to 10 days. This is a magical time. I don't know if I talked enough about that. That Jupiter is going to help expand your uniqueness, your ability to get catapulted into where you actually deserve to be. So just know that about this time we're in. So, oh, good. You're welcome, Shannon. Here's the thing that I hope I do. In all this, that everything I've tried to say, and is that Letitia? Because it's so. Thank you, Letitia. If that's what the word is, I can't see it, so I apologize. Um, it's so small. Uh, I forgot what I was saying now. Sorry, trying to read some of the comments and losing my mind. Um, I'm trying to just give you. Um, I'm trying to just give you bits and pieces where I am, and I'm begging it back from y'all. I am no way. Hope I don't come across that I'm right all the time. I don't want to be right. What I want to do is go. I want to find and become more. I feel so much better when I become more than when I'm right. It's like being right. I'm just like whatever. I want to become more. I want to live. I want to feel life. And when you're too worried about being right, you stop all your life happening. Right. I just want experience, and so that's what I try to bring to you where I am, what I've learned. And I could read astrology book and tell you what the chapter on, what Pluto in the fourth house is. I could do that all day, but I've lived it. I feel it. I've done thousands of charts. So in doing that, I don't share your personal information, but I do share the experiences that you were forthcoming when I've read your chart or when you came back to me. And some of the best things in my life are I may put something out to you and I don't care where you get it at the moment. But here's what I love the most when somebody comes back 2 years later, I cannot tell you how that changed my life. I didn't change their life. I planted seeds in the moment. I gave you everything I had. Hopefully you felt that like tonight. And in doing that, hopefully we created something that the universe is going to grab and just take it and make it exponential. If we both do that and you take this and do it, I think that's the possibility that we can create whatever it is we want. So when somebody comes back to me years later and say, I cannot tell you how, I don't even remember. I think there's a couple of people on here are readers and stuff. When I read your chart, I forget about it when I'm done because I'm intuitively doing it, giving you everything I got. And for me, that was for you. That isn't for me to take and know. So I don't take and go, aha, I know that about them. I just read your chart. I'm in the moment. I give you everything I got. That's the best I can do. I did that tonight. I hope that resonated. I would hope all of you could go do that. If we did, do you know how damn beautiful this place would be? Do you know how magical the people you encounter would be? Do you know how the ones that were sucking the life out of you would go away from you? Because that's how this thing works. You'll draw to you then those that are seeking what you're seeking. Do you know how beautiful that is? It's magical, I'm telling you. And I'm starting to do that more and more. And the people I'm surrounded with now, it's just amazing. I can't even describe how good the people are in my life now. I just can't. So I hope you see that too. Let's see here. Oh, good. I said your name right. Good. Yes. Good. I'm glad you loved it, Peg fan. Alabama Barbie. Now, are you from Ohio or Alabama Barbie? Because I saw something about Ohio. So you got me confused. Are you one of those transplants? Sunny days. Thank you for promoting me. I saw it come back on something. So thank you for doing that today, Marianne. Once I get the what happened, Scorpio and Taurus. Okay, good. That'll be good if you do that. Thank you, Marianne. Carmen, how you doing, girl? Carmen would come to my classes. She's man, that girl has got it. She did so well. If this is the right Carmen, I hope it is. My Cubs fan, Carmen. Um, she has done so much work. She is so amazing. My God, she's amazing. Let's see. Christy Blue. Thanks, Jim, for sharing insights. Is that Christy Bales? No, I can't see. I can't see. Yes, Marianne. Yes. Trying to be right is very limiting. That a girl. Good job. Yes, we're planting seeds together, Letitia. We exactly are. That's exactly right. Good. Get them out of there. Get those people out of there. You're welcome, Naisha. It's me. Go Cubs. That a girl. Now, I hate to tell you all this, but Carmen's my favorite because I'm a huge Cubs fan. And she is a Cubs fan. So sorry. You want to become favorite, move up my list? Start watching the Cubs. Become a fan. So, all right. Well, listen, I enjoyed it. I don't know how to read all this stuff. So it says 20 people on. That's a lot. That's good. You guys did good. For me, being a damn rookie and you got to put up with all my mistakes, uh, too bad. That's me. I'm flawed and I like it. So, but I'm getting better. Next one, I'll be a little better. So, um, all right. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be intense at following comments below. If anybody has questions about what I talked about, I think I did fairly well. I feel good about what I told you. Um, this was wonderful. Thank you. You are welcome, Letitia. So I feel good about this. I want to leave it a high note where I don't wear you guys out. And please go get after it. Change your world so I can enjoy a better world too. I'm trying to change my world to help you your world. Go do that for me and definitely for yourself first, not me. Do it for all of us. Thank you so much. I'm going to do this again. I hope you all liked it. Maybe I'll do it on the new moons or full. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Y'all put comments below if you'd like me to do it again on. Maybe we could do it on all the new moons because that's where we're supposed to plant seeds. There's been a few good comments about planting seeds together, and I like that. So let me know. It's a good way to go through the chart, maybe help you a little more with your chart and houses. On that last video that I did about this live, if you go down and look in the not comments, but in the section where I write description, I put the first 6 houses and descriptions of the houses 1 through 6. I couldn't get the 7 through 12. I will do that on my next video, and I'll put it up on the video to tell you, so you can have all the definitions as I've pieced them together. And I did it intuitively as well as through the logical mental part. I've repeated some things, but I know that astrology, you got to keep repeating, or you got to keep repeating to totally get it, not only from the perspective of logically, but intuitively. So the repetition gets you, and then you start feeling it. And when you feel it, you got it. And that's what I need y'all to do to feel it. And so in these descriptions, it's not sentences; they're just one word. And I tried to do them where you thought about something about that house, And then I did something totally on the other end of the spectrum. So had to go all over it and you had to not get in a rhythm. I didn't want you in a rhythm, if that makes sense. I did it with a Uranus chaotic place. Okay. So I want to bid everybody a good night. I want to tell you thank you. And I am truly grateful for all of you. And thank you for the wonderful, wonderful comments. All right. With that, I'm going to end it. And everybody have a good night. Enjoy that Scorpio full moon tomorrow. Know that evil's being exposed. You might try to get jerked to one end of the spectrum or not. Be aware. Get ahead of it. Own it. Okay. All right. Have a great night. Thank you again to everybody that showed up.